Okay, willkommen. Wir machen jetzt eine Sitzung in Englisch. Bei mir sind Darren Melbourne, Chef von Retro Games Limited, und Mike Batilana von Clone2. Beides Gesichter, die man schon seit vielen, vielen Jahren kennt. Now we change to English, of course. Darren, you don't speak too much German, I think.
Not enough.
Would you like to introduce yourself? A few words?
Yeah, hi. For those of you that don't know, which is probably most of you, my name's Darren Melbourne. I'm one of the principals of Retro Games Limited, and we make, as some of you know, mini games consoles based on hardware that's been loved from years previously. And I think we're now going to sit here and try not to tell you about the next product.
Mike, some words about you. I mean, most of the guys here know you, but
It's as always a pleasure to be here. Also die Sprache war ja nicht das Problem, aber it's I'm wearing two hats, as you know, and maybe the answer to everything will be 42. So what we cannot say now, perhaps at the next event, but it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Darren. Darren, we know your company from some retro games consoles. One of those is the Amiga 500, A500 Mini.
Yep.
That's the correct name. Now there's some rumors about the A1200. Just tell us something about that. What's about that?
I obviously can confirm that the A1200 is coming. What more do you need to know? Because I'm kind of restricted what I can say. The A1200 is on its way. It's well along in development. And again, apologies to everyone because I'm kind of restricted on the dates and what I can and what I can't say. On the 1200, there is a big press release coming in the next week or two that will fill in all of the gaps that I'm leaving out today.
You've shown some kind of prototype, a case of the A1200 at Gamescom.
Yep.
So why did you choose the A1200 and not maybe a 600 or 1000 or 3000?
That I can answer. I think for me personally, when we were looking at the Amiga range of machines, and when I first started talking with Mike about building, I think oh, there we're back. Sorry. We originally built the A500 as a mini, and I think, quite honestly, because the original was such a large piece of hardware. Gone again. There we go. And that worked very well. Thank you. That worked very well as a mini. And I think when we were talking about doing a full-size machine, which is the way that we normally do it, we do a mini and then a full-size machine. We were looking at the 500, and we realized that was. And we also considered the 600, and we put it to the vote, and then I just really put my foot down pretty much because I think the 1200 is just a beautiful form factor. It was always my favorite of the machines. I started with 1000, and I went through pretty much every Amiga machine, but the 1200 was always the one that I came back to because I just think it's just the epitome of the perfect Amiga for me.
Okay, mal eine Frage in der Runde. Wer hat einen A1200 besessen? Mal die Hand hoch. Okay, this is really
Sounds pretty good.
Really good. Okay. Can you tell us who is involved in the project development currently for the A1200?
It's pretty much the entire team. I think everybody in the Retro Games office is involved in pulling the 1200 project together. We've also got a lot of the team members at PlayOn working alongside us at the moment. We've got Ben, we've got Stuart, as always. So everybody involved in PlayOn is helping with it. Everybody at Retro Games is Limited is helping with it, you're helping with it, and you're helping with it. So yeah, it's pretty much the biggest team we've had on any of the projects we've done so far.
Sounds cool. If you have a look at the technical specifications, what you can tell about, at least, what's the difference between the A1200 and the A500 Mini or C64, for example?
Okay, from a hardware perspective, what I can share is that obviously it's a 1200, so it's much more powerful than the 500 or the C64. From a hardware perspective, we've had to ramp everything up, and I would say it's the most powerful machine we've done so far.
in comparison to the original A1200?
Well, in comparison to the original 1200, it emulates the 1200. So it's as powerful as the 1200, and as you know, it's got some bells and whistles in there as well.
Okay, where are the challenges? Which are the challenges to produce such a machine?
The challenge is to produce any machine like this is just really, it's been 40 years or 30 years actually since the machine debuted, and it's always hard recreating something from that long ago, really. I think we've done an outstanding job, if I do say so myself, and I hope everybody here feels the same way when we finally can reveal it to you all.
Okay, Amiga was always about gaming, of course. There was some cool tools like Starla and so on. Can you give us some details about the games that are included in the new system?
Okay, well, this is one of the areas where I have to apologize. I've been embargoed from revealing which games are embedded on the system, with the only one is Settlers 2, is the only one I can share. We revealed this at Gamescom. Obviously, we're working with your team on this, and that's the only one I'm able to share today. But there's some pretty outstanding content on the machine, and it's completely different from the 500 as well.
Do you have a suggestion when this system will be available and where people can buy it?
I do. The system will be available early next year. I can't give you an exact date, although I do believe that will be announced in the next week or so in London. And I believe pre-orders, and it will go on sale with pre-orders fairly much straight after the press release. But it will be early next year.
Okay, and about the further vision of Retro Games, are there any plans you can talk about already?
Yeah, we're going to keep on doing more of the same. As long as people like what we're doing, we'll keep making them. Obviously, there's some more that we want to do with Mike, with the Commodore machines, with Amiga. We've got the C60 Black, which is being released, I believe, next week, which is a new iteration of the Commodore 64 that we've done, which is pretty fantastic. Yeah, we've got 2 or 3 more machines in development, and they will all be announced in the next, I would imagine, 2 months.
All right, looking forward. You've been part of the games industry for a long, long time.
I have.
You know many people here around, and you've been part of the retro scene as well, of course.
Yeah.
So, what do you feel about that?
Well, I've kind of stumbled into the games industry like so many of us did in the very early 80s. And I think I was always fairly certain that you could make a career out of making games, but I was surprised at just how big it got and how quickly it expanded. I really have never done anything else. I've worked independently. I've run several games development studios. I've founded them with my colleagues. We've exited a couple. We've worked with THQ, with Ubisoft, with Eidos, with Square Enix. So yeah, it's been a 40-year journey so far that I really don't want to stop. It's just too much fun.
Great to hear. Mike, some words from you about the system, about cooperation?
Yeah, well, they did their homework, and we started working on these things already, also speaking about Amiga possibilities in 2015, I think we started, no? So you did, unlike some others, all your homework. I can say being more, I'm a product person, I like technical excellence. I obsess about things like latency sometimes. You asked about some technical aspects. Of course, there's HDMI, USB, and so on. Exchange I had with Chris, also your technical partner. And we have hardware, for example, in our Amiga Forever to measure the latency. How much does it take between, how many frames between pressing a button and the actual result on screen? We have custom software and hardware to see this. And he showed me immediately, as soon as I mentioned this, his own hardware. He also did some custom electronics to measure the latency. So they're very careful about these things too, to have it really playable and with no lag and so on. So I appreciate these aspects as well. It's just... Thank you.
Okay, thanks you both.
You're welcome.
For being here, for giving us some insights. And good luck with the product.
Thank you very much. And thank you, everyone, for listening to us. In the next 2 weeks, we can reveal the complete release date and the full games lineup and everything else. I wish I could have done it today, but it'll be in the next couple of weeks, and everyone can find out what we're doing.
When it's done.
When it's done. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.